Good morning. We are live again. It's been quite a long time since I've done a live meditation. I took a little break from doing these when I was in the Clarity program, the meditation and mindset program that I created. Because morning Kajal, how gorgeous to see you. I took a break from doing these because my schedule was so overloaded and I just didn't feel like I had capacity to give more energy. And now, Louisa, hi love. Now there's much more capacity in my timetable and I'm feeling full of energy and able to give. So really welcoming you into the space and just take a moment to settle, to make yourselves really comfy. And if you used to practice with me before, I always suggest that you sit, but I really encourage you to find morning. I always encourage you to just find what works for you in terms of how you sit. You can just sit leaning up against something. There's this real sort of misconception with meditation that you have to sit in that real traditional cross-legged super upright position. You can sit in an armchair, you can sit on your bed, up against the wall, you can have your legs out, you can just, it's time for you, right? So just be comfortable. So make sure you have everything that you need. I always need a bit of lip balm and a drink. So if you need anything, go and grab that. And then make yourselves really comfy. And once you are comfortable, the invitation is to close down the eyes, but that doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes by closing the eyes, you activate the mind. So if that sort of triggers any response for you, you can just gaze down at the floor and then let your eyelids soften. So whether you have eyes open or eyes closed, allow the space around the eyes to relax. It's often a place we don't really think about relaxing. So just think about that space around the eyes, the eyebrows, the upper and lower lids. Can you let them relax? Let the eyeballs sink a little. And then come down to the cheeks. Let the cheeks relax. Let the jaw relax. If you notice here that your teeth are together, let the teeth part. Let the lower jaw hang a little and let the tongue rest heavy in the lower mouth. Bring the awareness now to the breath, and you don't need to change anything about the way that you're breathing. Nothing needs to change here. But this simple act of awareness at the breath turns a very unconscious process into a conscious process. So we become aware that we're breathing. We arrive in the moment by simply acknowledging our inhale and our exhale. And that it really is the essence of meditation. So how does it feel in your body to breathe this morning? Where do you feel your breath? And that might be a question that you've never been asked before. So don't over-conceptualize it. Don't use the thinking mind to answer that question. Ask your body, where do you feel it? Maybe the chest. Maybe the rib cage. Maybe the tip of the nose. There's no right or wrong. And quite naturally, when we start to pay attention to the breath, it will change. It will probably deepen a little. So notice here, is there anything in the body that's stopping you from taking a very slightly deeper breath now? Maybe some tension in the belly. And if you're a woman practicing with me today, then quite often we hold tension in this area because media tells us that we need to suck our bellies in, we need to look a certain way. So maybe even bringing the hands to the belly if that feels okay for you in your body today. And just allowing that beautiful belly to soften into your hands, like cradling yourself. And maybe you even feel the response of your belly as you breathe in the hands. Breath drops a little now as it's starting to deepen and the front of the body is softening. If you have the hands on the belly, you can release those down to the legs or keep them at the belly if that felt nice for you. And all we're doing is following the breath. Following the inhale from the bottom of the inhale to the top. And then following the exhale from the top of the exhale all the way down to the bottom, that last bit of breath in the body. Creating this cycle of awareness for the mind to focus on. Know that when the mind draws you away from your breath, because it will, that's what the mind is meant to do. It's meant to think and alert you and tell you things. The act of meditation is choosing, the choice to not engage with the thought and come back to the breath. In concept sounds easy, but in life it's not so easy. So without judgment, without expectation, as soon as you realize you're thinking, draw a beautiful big long breath in and then go, ah, yes, that's what I'm doing, I'm breathing. And you just start again. Notice if you're carrying any tension in your body. Can you give yourself the permission to soften a little here? Maybe it's the shoulders. Maybe the belly, the hips. Sometimes the act of trying, so trying to meditate, the act of trying can create a little bit of tension. And let yourself soften. Let yourself soften into your breath. Soften into the earth. Soften into your body. Reminding yourself each time you think to come back to the breath. With a sense of lightheartedness, no frustration, no judgment. And if the mind really needs something to do, and sometimes it does, keep seeking out tension in your body to soften with your exhale breath. Depending on where you're at in your cycle, your menstrual cycle, the mind will be reacting very differently to the meditation. Keep giving yourself permission to soften, to let go, to be in the body. As you follow the breath, perhaps you start to notice, now that you've relaxed into it a little, that there's a little pause, maybe at the bottom of each exhale. Maybe a little pause at the top of each inhale. Just a moment of peace, a moment of stillness before the cycle of breath begins again. Maybe you rest in that space for a fraction of a second. If the mind is wandering, with a sense of kindness, a sense of warmth, bringing yourself back to the breath. Often it can be really frustrating. But if we can start to see the slight element of humour in the mind's busyness, it becomes to soften, it becomes a little bit easier. And the more we steer the mind back to the breath, the easier it will become for the mind to start to learn that that is what we do when we come to sit, when we come to our meditation practice. The mind is a creature of habit. As you sit in this beautiful moment that you've created for yourself, in this softness, in this peaceful moment, I'd like you to think about one thing that you would like to welcome into the rest of your week. Maybe there's a big decision to make. Maybe something's happening in the background that you need acceptance around. Maybe you need to be a little kinder to yourself. And once you've found the thing, and no worries if nothing comes forward for you, can you crystallize it into one word? For your next 5 inhales, I want you to feel that entering into your body on the inhale. And as you exhale, locking it into your heart. Inhaling to draw it into the body. Exhaling to let it lock into the heart, dropping down into the heart space. A couple more breaths. Allow your next exhale to drop all the way down to the earth. Feel your connection to earth, to the great Mother Earth beneath you. Next inhale, draw the awareness all the way up to the crown of the head. Sit really tall. Same again, let the exhale drop down to the earth, become aware of your body touching the earth. This time as you inhale, raise the arms up towards the sky, big stretch. Exhale to bring the hands down to heart center, press the palms together. Come back to your word, the thing that you're calling in for your week. Thank yourself for taking the time out of your morning to meditate. I hope the goodness of this practice serves you for the rest of your week. Thank you, my love. So beautiful to see you. Hey, Laura. Hey, Emma. So lovely to see you. Take care. And I'll see you next week. Bye, loves.